This episode is brought to you by Netflix. Jay Kelly, the new film from Academy Award nominee Noah Baumbach. George Clooney stars as an actor confronting his past and present on a journey of self-discovery, alongside Adam Sandler as his devoted manager. Critics are calling it a declaration of love to the chaotic art of filmmaking, with the Wall Street Journal praising it as a transcendent comedy drama. Jay Kelly is now playing only on Netflix.
Introducing Meta Ray-Ban Display, the world's most advanced AI glasses. With a full color display built into the lens of the glasses, it's there when you need it and gone when you don't. Send and receive messages, translate or caption live conversations, collaborate with Meta AI, and more. Be one of the first to try Meta Ray-Ban Display. Visit meta.com/Meta Ray-Ban Display to book a demo and find your pair.
Hi, this is Fat Mike from NoFX.
Hi, I'm actress Ann Mahoney.
Hey, friends, this is Hillbilly Jim. Hi, this is Kyle Dunbar from Ink Master, Season 3 and 4. Hey, this is Showdown Joe Frog.
Hey, everyone, this is Jessica Kiernan.
Hey, it's Ryan.
I'm Molly, and we're from Mother.
Hey, it's Shelby Chong, and I'm a Canadian from Vancouver.
Yo, what's up? This is me, DMC, and a place to be right here listening to the Toddcast Podcast.
The Toddcast Podcast
is powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, providing complete financing and mortgage services for residential and small commercial businesses. Visit them at citywidemortgage.ca.
Now, here's your host, Todd Hancock.
Imagine playing a sport was your everything. Say football. Routine, identity, it's your purpose. Until a medical test reveals that you're playing your whole life with one kidney. You had to stop playing. In a single conversation with your doctor, the game that you loved was gone. The heartbreak was brutal. The void didn't stay empty, though. You try modeling, then acting. You swap pads for scripts, pressure for possibility, and you start climbing. Well, that's the Coles Notes story of one of our guests this week, actor Seth Edeen, who's been seeing huge success with vertical series that he's been acting in, multiple millions of plays for multiple roles that he's been in. So how does he parlay that to better his career?
I'm still figuring it out as I go, honestly. I mean, this industry is still so new. I'm just kind of learning as I go. It definitely has given me a great fan base and a big audience that I didn't have before, which will help me, get more eyes on me as an actor. So it's presented me, more, opportunities and stuff. So I don't know. I treat it like, I'm playing hockey or playing football. I wake up every day and try to just, become 1% better of an actor every single day.
He goes, this industry is just so new. I'm kind of learning as I go. Talking about, of course, the vertical series, those micro dramas that you may be seeing. Seth is killing in that world. So joining Seth, he's been with us since we launched in 2015, our resident sports loudmouth, Mr. Tequila. His only appearance in season 11 of the Toddcast, a mental case, really, in the best way, truly through and through. Lots of sports talk this time around. And here he talks about Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney's barely passed budget.
Well, Canadians got to wake up, man. Like, this guy is the enemy, like, big time. He's a total... Okay, so where did he came from? He was the Bank of Canada. So he was with Trudeau for 10 years, right? 10 years we just went for shit, right down the toilet. The tax that we pay in Canada, they should have more than enough just raping us from tax, let alone this extra money we're going to create, right? So they're all crooks. All of them.
Perhaps the quote of this podcast, they should have more than enough just raping us from taxes. They're all crooks. All of them. My brother from another mother, a true friend, a lunatic, a monster guitarist. Mr. Tequila's latest visit is as spirited as ever. So this week's musical guest, he's the drummer of one of Canada's preeminent rock bands. So there's that as well. My name is Todd Hancock. Appreciate you being there. Let me be honest, it's thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. Like our title sponsor, Citywide Mortgage Services. I know that you know the name. They've been at it for decades, widely known as the best independent mortgage broker here in Vancouver. My good buddy Dara is one of the owners. He helped me get an impossibly great rate at the start of the year. This is when Trump was coming into office. Everything was just so uncertain. Everything was so scary. Stock market was tanking, but all of that didn't matter. So if you need a mortgage to buy a house or refinancing, renewals, maybe a second mortgage. They work with over 30 Canadian lenders. They work for you as well, not the banks. Dara's team is big and they have a ton of experience, and they also offer multilingual support, which is pretty cool. Getting a mortgage is likely one of the most important things you'll ever do, so use my network to better yours. I trust Dara and his team, and that's key in this world. Trust. So check them out through citywidemortgage.ca, citywidemortgage.ca. All right, coming up in just a few minutes in Listen to This, Age of Electric and Mounties guitarist Ryan Dahl talks about his career highlights. Now that is powered by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley. RV service and repairs, yes, they are ICBC accredited, and they're nine straight years of sponsoring. You can find them, of course, I love them dearly. You can find them online, kicking around from time to time, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Where else? At Tedco RV Supplies. First, our first guest of three. This week's musical guest is Big Wreck drummer Sekou Lumumba. Now, did you know that Big Wreck was originally called Stillwaters back in 1992? Well, Ian, their singer, didn't like the name, so he wanted to change it and settled on a new one back in 1994 after something went wrong during a rehearsal session, and their guitarist Brian Doherty said that the sessions kind of sounded like a big wreck. And there you go. So back to Sekou. He's been drumming with the band since COVID and was the drummer for Ian Thornley's Thornley project. He talked about growing up in Trinidad and moving to Canada at about 11 or 12 years old and the culture shock of all of that.
Yeah, I'm from Trinidad. I'm from the Caribbean. I moved to Canada when I was 11 or 12. So our household was very strictly Caribbean music. It was soca, calypso, reggae. That's it. Like it just in the Caribbean, I'm 53, so like in the Caribbean in the 70s, like it's not like it was a eclectic mix. It just was not like that. So coming to Canada was a huge culture shock. Sure. Being exposed to all the different types of music and also trying to assimilate as an immigrant to a completely different culture. I had never seen snow before. I landed in a snowstorm.
And where'd you move to as a kid?
Montreal.
Montreal.
In the middle of a snowstorm. And like my brother and I we were catatonic. We couldn't speak. We just looked out the window, just like, you know what I mean? So it was a huge culture shock. And obviously with music, that was the case too, being exposed to all different kinds of things on the radio and things like that. And then when I started playing drums around age 16, I had some friends who were into the, heavier stuff, right? Like SNFU and Sex Pistols and Metallica. Like, so I kind of jumped on board with Justice for All album with Metallica, and then I got super into early Soundgarden, and then the first two Chili Peppers albums, and then just kind of went off from there, right? So just being exposed to that stuff and then playing my instrument, those two things helped those two things were like, well, good music is good music. It doesn't matter where it's from, right? It's just a matter of being able to understand it and translate it to the instrument, and, so yeah.
No doubt. He goes, coming to Canada was a huge culture shock, being exposed to all different types of music. We talked with Sekou for close to half hour. You can hear it right now at iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcast. You can watch our conversation, of course, at our YouTube channel. Find everything at Toddcast Podcast. Branding, hey, it works. Big Wreck formed in 1992. They broke up in 2002. They got back together again in the early 2010s and put out the Albatross album in 2012. Ghosts was put out in 14, Gray Street in 17, But for the Sun in 19, 7 in 23, and the rest of the story in 25, which took forever to get released. And more on that in just a sec. Big Wreck, of course, remains one of Canada's best rock bands, period. So it's cool to talk to Sekou about the early musical influences in his life. We talked about the death of Kiss guitarist Ace Frehley, binge watching Fargo, and yes, recording the rest of the story and how long it took to release this record.
Yeah, like this stuff was done in 23. So
23?
Yeah.
What?
So it's been a while, and we're like, we're super proud of it. Like we love it. So you're absolutely right. Like sitting on it that long, was tough
Like, it
because
must
we wanted
drive
to
you
get it out,
crazy
people to
to
hear it.
sit on
Yeah,
it that long. Like, well, let's just get it
100%.
out.
Yeah. But patience is a virtue, and ultimately it's out, and we're hearing a lot of really good feedback on stuff. So we could not be more happy about the reception of it.
Yeah. Your PR team sent me the record probably, I don't know, a couple, 2-3 weeks back, and it's kind of
Oh,
been
nice.
stop in my player, and it's now. And I'm wondering, like, so is it? The album's called "The Rest of the Story."
Mm-hmm.
So is that a tip of the hat to a broadcaster named Paul Harvey?
It's not. That's so funny. I hadn't thought of that. No. So brief story. So the EPs we put out before Pages were also part of a singular recording session. But it was 7.1, 7.2, 7.3. They each had 5 songs on them. And the idea with those releases were to basically have kind of a taste of different moods and put them in an EP, wait, 6 months or 8 months, do it again, and then do it again. But ultimately, they were all the same sessions, right? When we got to the new sessions with Nick, we gone in thinking we were going to do the same thing again, like batch of five, batch of five, batch of five. So we recorded a bunch of these songs, and then we released Pages, which was meant to be like pages of a book, right? So just another few looks, another few chapters of a book. At some point, we just were like, why are we doing that format anymore? It made a bit more sense, I think, during kind of COVID times, but now we just like, why are we sitting on these songs rather than just releasing them?
Mhm.
So we released the rest of the story.
And now
The rest of the story. Exactly.
That's
So
great.
yeah,
I love that
less so.
the reference.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
yeah, that's so funny.
Truly a mind blower. He goes, why are we sitting on these songs rather than just releasing them? It's crazy to think, right? That Big Wreck was done their new album in 23. It really is a good album too, worthy of Juno nominations, which they're no strangers to. Ghosts was nominated for Rock Album of the Year in 15, another nomination for Rock Album of the Year at the 25 Juno Awards for Pages. It wouldn't surprise me to hear another nod for the new album. I guess you wouldn't see that till the 26 awards though, right? Sekou was cool about talking about all sorts of things, like the horror genre. We talked about Frankenstein, the new Frankenstein, binging Dune and SNL. The World Series came up, his love of MMA. We talked about black musicians and Ozzy Osbourne's influence.
Yep. Ozzy, I discovered Ozzy about 2 years into being a drummer.
Yeah.
And I discovered him the same time I discovered like Zeppelin, believe it or not. So I put Ozzy and Black Sabbath and Bill Ward in a very specific pantheon of music that when I hear that, just like it was like school. You remember the first time you heard those bands, right? Like even now, you know the parts, even if you don't play guitar or play drums or play or sing, you just know the parts because it was school. It was like someone setting you up for all the things that you're going to hear later on in life, musically, right? From I'm getting emotional talking about Jesus. Yeah, it was school. It was
Which is part
like
of our, like, it's part of who we are.
exactly. And hearing like his voice and his just I would oftentimes think back to like what it must have been like at that time to hear that on the radio and be like, what on earth is happening right now, you know? Yeah, it's tough to talk about without getting too emotional there. He was definitely somebody who taught me a lot about metal and about rock music. Yeah.
100%. It was like school, he says. You remember the first time you hear those bands, right? Like even now. Totally. These bands, Sabbath and Ozzy, classic rock, they are part of our DNA. We also talked about the Beach Boys, the Beatles, seeing Metallica in concert. Comic books and superhero movies came up.
I, like a lot of people, have that superhero fatigue because I grew up with comics too. So to me, the idea of comics there's still a voice in my brain like, what are you talking about? People know when the X-Man is. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, like those were nerd things. Those were not.
Right? When we were kids, it was the same for me. As a kid, I used to get picked on for reading X-Men, Fantastic Four,
people know who Nightcrawler is. What are you talking about? Like,
it blows my mind. And as a comic book fan, it's funny you say how you have fatigue. So do I.
Yeah, right.
It's cool. I like seeing the movies, but guys, it's too much.
It's too much. You know, they need to, and I think the general public is feeling that way too. So hopefully there will be a knock-on effect that they'll make smarter choices with those things and moving forward. But yeah, I mean, I am a superhero movies fan. I do go see all of them. I haven't seen the Fantastic Four one yet.
It's okay.
But I'm super stoked about that.
That's so disappointing because it's like that's one of the teams you want it to be like the best.
Yeah,
okay.
And that's a tough one. That's a tough one to do, though. It's really tough to do.
Yeah. Which superpower would you want to have?
Invisibility.
There you go.
Invisibility. What about you?
Probably teleportation.
Oh yeah. Oh, that would be. Oh, that
How
would
rad
be.
Would that be?
Second.
But you got to be able to like teleport with whatever you can carry too, right?
So you're thinking like me. Okay, good.
Subscribe on iTunes, YouTube, and Spotify at Toddcast Podcast.
Diplomatic, disenchanted. I just show your tucked away. This keeps you safe. It will get better. You deserve this. Some circles for the future. Pull you away in some strange way. But I can't handle this. You're the blade in my back. Scandalous. I spend your time, turn up your life. I'll be right here by your side. So tell your friends that they were right about me, and I'll say the same about you to mine. Told you I would wait for you, but you changed your focus. Broke away from all my habits, but nobody noticed. You asked me not to change for you, but we outgrew each other. I can't waste another summer, so I guess it's time that I learn to change for myself. But I can't handle this. You're the blade in my back, it's scandalous. I spend your time, turn up your life. I'll be right here by your side. So tell your friends that they were right about me, and I'll say the same about you to mine. I'm glad we got to grow together before we grew apart. Kept your letters, think it's better that I stayed far. The seeds you planted still grow. You used to call me home. Now the bed we used to share is where I sleep alone. I'm glad we got to grow together before we grew apart. Kept your letters, think it's better that I stayed far. The seeds you planted still grow. You used to call me home. Now the bed we used to share is where I sleep alone. But I can't handle this. You're the blade in my back, it's scandalous. I spend your time, turn up your life. I'll be right here by your side. So tell your friends that they were right about me, and I'll say the same about you to mine.
And now, listen to this on the Toddcast Podcast.
If you listened to Canadian rock radio stations in the 90s, it was almost impossible to not hear the Age of Electric. They formed in the late 80s, made up of two sets of brothers, Ryan and Kurt Dahl, and Todd and John Kearns. And they hustled. Name a gritty Western Canadian bar they played there. They learned how to on a stage. And when the Age of Electric put out their Ugly EP back in 1994, it took off. You would hear them on most good Canadian rock radio stations. Ugly and Untitled got heavy play on Much Music as well. So you were seeing their videos on TV. Fast forward a couple of years, Kurt and Ryan Dahl put out music in a new band called Limb Lifter. That band was pretty big on Canadian rock radio as well, in their own right. The Age of Electric released Make a Pest a Pet the following year, back in 1997, their major label debut and final album. Great to have Ryan Dahl on the podcast. We've known each other for the majority of his career, being that I was an on-air personality at the big rock radio station in the city that he lived in. We would cross paths and here and there over the life of this podcast as well. He's kept busy producing albums for Hot Hot Heat, the Manvilles, Chaos, of course, his solo stuff. He's part of the Mounties with Steve Bays and Hawksley Workman. To say Ryan Dahl's had an impressive career, you would be understated. Listen to this.
I don't know, like, I don't think of my life in music as a career in some ways, which is weird, you know?
That's weird.
Yeah, it's like I don't think of it as like a goal in sports or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm just, and you're always in a different mood than you think you're going to be when something great happens, you know? You know, like, or you were super hungry and that's all you could think about, or you're super thirsty, or you hadn't slept in 3 days, or your amp wasn't working, or, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or like, shit, those lights are hot and we just, you know what I mean? Like, do I really have to stand here?
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever?
Right.
Or do I really have to stand in front of that Labatt's Blue sign?
But funny, like those are the things you remember those things. Like, and like, say if you had like a show where you string busted loose or whatever, or the lights came out, the power turned off or whatever, those are the shows you remember, right? The oddities.
Yeah, I guess, you know, like, but the technical career highlights, if you're going to write them in a book, you know, it'd be like, and I should have an answer kind of Hollywood style for you. But,
right.
You know, it's like, well, it was really when I did this, but I mean, it's really been, it's been a slog of, of just, you know, oh, okay, well, we got that, we've crossed that bridge, or we've hurdled over that.
Yeah, playing Maple Leaf Gardens, like that's
so technically that should be like a highlight, right?
That's pretty cool.
I
would think that would be sure, yeah.
You know,
and that was with who?
That was with Bush.
With Bush.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen to This on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC approved repair shop. Visit them on Facebook and Twitter at Tedco RV Supplies. And now, highlighting our next Blue Light Sessions, powered in part by Canadian Club Whiskey. Meet your new cold one. We serve Canadian Club and Ginger ready-to-drink cocktails at all of our live shows. Visit CanadianClub.com today.
I know this isn't what you thought we'd be doing. There's trouble outside this box. Let's put a movie on, I won't like it, but I'll watch, It's called Falling Down, Down, Down. If you never sing along, then you never get it wrong. If you never sing along, then you never get it wrong. Through your glass, the sky is green. And he puts water in a gun. And falls into the sea.
Oh man, I cannot wait to see the live set from Tobacco Brown. I've heard nothing but great things. A cool song for them, it's called Water Gun. So this Friday, tickets are still available, by the way, for Tobacco Brown and Stephen Drake of The Odds fame. So they're playing at the Blue Light Studio in beautiful East Vancouver on Friday, December 12th. It's the 45th volume of the Toddcast Blue Light Sessions. They're 45-minute sets. Each band will get the interview and the performance. It's very intimate. It's very interactive. If you've been to a show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, grab a ticket right now. Early bird tickets are only $20 through eventbrite.ca. Eventbrite.ca. 25 bones if you want to gamble and hopefully get tickets at the door. I say gamble because we only let 60 people into these shows. So the doors are at 7 o'clock. We'll start the show at about 8. Maybe 8:15 kind of thing, something like that at the latest. I played you Cloud Sick. That's a great song for those guys called Letters Kept. Easily one of my favorite Vancouver bands of the last couple of years. They're playing a show this Thursday on the 11th, December 11th at Fortune. So that's Youth Fountain, Poor Sport, Cloud Sick, and Earmarked. That will be a great, and underline that, great night of live music. It's happening. I guess you got to know where to go. Okay, so coming up shortly, and stop me if you've heard this before, the Walking Dead actress Carrie Cahill shares what she thinks is the hardest thing about acting, and it actually may surprise you. That is powered by the Home Dwell Group, longtime friends of the podcast. In fact, I've known one of the partners since literally grade 6. He's been in that world since graduating high school. If you're buying a home or you're selling your house, contact my good friend Kyle through homedwell.ca. Homedwell.ca. First, the second of 3 Toddcast guests this week is our sporting guest, our resident sports loudmouth, Mr. Tequila. Now, so as mentioned off the top, he's been with us since before launching this podcast, actually. He would be a frequent guest of my afternoon show at 99.3 The Fox when I was DJing there, and he's been a regular on this podcast since we launched in 2015. This is his only appearance this year, and how could you have Tequila on as a guest and not talk about the Vancouver Canucks? And the typical start this year, injury upon injury, bad luck upon bad luck.
Yeah, the injury bug is already hitting us right now. Demko being the biggest one, but man, he takes a leak and he gets hurt now. Like it's terrible. Like we can't go with the guy who's going to be in and out of the lineup, right? But by the same token, when they were going to trade him, because they were considering trading him, you don't just give up a number one goalie. So it was kind of stuck in the middle with letting him go, right?
Right. Do you think the Canucks regret not maybe keeping Shelov's getting rid of Demko? Like, do you think they regret it?
Like, the thing with Shelov's, though, like, Shelov's, everyone forgets, Shelov started the season with the Canucks last year, right? He went 0-5, right? So they said to him, go down, play in the minors.
And then he crushed, won an the Calder Cup.
Totally crushed. So he earned at least a backup role with the Canucks. He should have had it. They should have bounced either Lankinen or Demko. They should have made a choice there and then try to keep Shelov. So I get that. But I see at the same token, they were like, man, he wouldn't have got the starting role for sure. But he did play well in the minors. Obviously winning the Calder Cups, like, that's massive, right?
That's huge. Yeah.
Huge. But like not just Demko, like that Hedl guy, he was doing well before he got hurt.
Well, concussion, he's going to be wanting mom soup, just like, Lindros wanted it, right? Like, mom made good soup.
Yeah, that's right. Like, I've had a few of the concussions too, so I know what those guys are going through. But like, yeah, this could be long term because I think he had concussion problems when we got him, right? When we traded for him. So that was the knock against him, that he's barely in the lineup. But when he is in the lineup, he actually does pretty good, right? He's a first rounder. And like Garland's out right now, and Bluger. Like, that's some key guys to your lineup.
Well, then of course Hughes was out for a while stretch there too. And like, these are core players.
But you know what? Our PK, we're almost like dead last in the NHL. Like, we're terrible. But we can score goals galore. Like, we're one of the top teams for scoring, right?
Right.
We just can't keep the puck out of our net. But like there is like Hughes is doing all he can, right? Hughes, Hronik, they're doing all they can, but it's the Myers guys like that are just, they shouldn't even be on this team. I think we should have moved on from Myers. I think he's terrible.
Dude, you've been bagging on Myers for like 10 years, so.
Yeah. But like, hey, there is some bright spots. Like look at Kiefer Sherwood.
Yeah, Sherwood's a great player.
Wow, this guy's been great, right?
Yeah.
And even Petey's making a bounce back, right? I knew with Petey, especially with Adam Foote lets offensive players play offense, right? He lets them go. He's not really all over them in the defensive end. Where Tokic was that. He changed Petey. He turned him into a fucking two-way defensive player. Like he's good there, but fuck, we're paying this guy $92 million. We need this guy to score.
Score a few goals, bud.
Yeah.
Like, take some shots, man. Like, I don't know about you, but I'll be watching the game and I'll be like, fucking rip a shot. Like, I would have taken a shot in that situation. Like, how are you not taking the shot? Come on.
They're trying to play pretty, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes a pretty play doesn't work, but like some of our rookies, like these guys are all going to hit. We got that Ratu guy. He's coming along. Eventually he's going to go. Will Ander just played a couple of games. Like that guy's going to be awesome. Right. So we do have some young pieces that are going to come in. I don't think we have to do a full rebuild, but like it's still early in the season. Like everyone's still losing right with us. So we're like 2 points out of a playoff.
Yeah. I don't think it's time to put. We're not pushing the panic button that soon. Like, come on, boys.
Yeah, that's right.
He takes a leak and he gets hurt now. Of course, talking about Demko and the injuries that have plagued him over the last couple of years. It's just like the Canucks, though, isn't it? Leaving it interesting for the fans, right? The full talk with Mr. Tequila is now up at our YouTube channel. We talked about the BC Lions as well and their stellar year and how disappointing it was to not play for the Grey Cup in a season where it should have been ours.
Especially if it came right down to the end. Like they went 8-0. Like they totally kicked ass all the way through, right? And O'Rourke's just a stud, right? Like that guy's like MVP of the league. He got awarded, right? No kidding. But yeah, that was a tough loss, especially to see Saskatchewan win the Grey Cup, right? That should have been us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that should be good for next year though for those guys. So maybe we'll see BC Place full again next year.
And what do you think about the Vancouver Whitecaps? Like, what a year for these guys. We had on the CEO of the team, Axel Schuster, and like he was so proud of that team and to see where they've come over the last 3, 4, 5 years. Like it really truly is insane how well those guys are playing. Do you think they can do it again?
Oh yeah, man. Well, look at they made a coaching change. So that Jesper Sorensen, that guy's a wicked coach. Like he's awesome, this guy, right? And then of course picking up Thomas Mueller, World Cup notorious like champion, right? Wins the Champions League. We bring him into the lineup. Perfect. He's the missing link right there. But then you got Brian White. Brian White still scores goals.
White's huge.
White's huge. So I think we'll have a good run, and BC Place is going to be packed. These guys are going to love it, right?
Yeah, we'll be there throwing popcorn and whatever else at the opposing teams if we see anybody in jerseys. That's how we roll with Tequila when we go to games.
Yeah, especially against Saskatchewan, and there's big farm boys chasing after us at BC Place. yeah, the good old times. But you know what? Like the Whitecaps, they're selling so many season tickets just from bringing in a star player like Thomas Mueller. And if you the team that we're playing, LAFC, they've got 2 superstar guys in their lineup too. So this is the best on best that's coming up here. This Korean guy from I don't even know his name. The hell's his name? Whatever the point, he's awesome. That's what you got to do in the MLS. Like Messi, bring Messi in. That's how you sell it. Even at the end of their career, bring these guys over. It's great for the league.
No doubt. He goes, that was a tough loss to see Saskatchewan with the Grey Cup. That should have been us. 100%. When you factor in the year that the Lions had with an 8-0 run, it's just insane football to watch. And as we always do with our guests, especially Tequila, we get into it. Talked a lot of stuff. Talked about Megadeth and their retirement, the farewell tour, the Vancouver Whitecaps and their domination this year. We talked about Jake Paul's latest boxing match taking on Anthony Joshua. That came up. And how can we have Tequila on and not talk about other stuff like the Epstein list and Trump's bullshit tariffs?
Yeah, guy's a businessman. Everyone keeps forgetting, right? The guy is a businessman first. He knows how to make money, right? Look at Canada, dead last in the G7 for growth, right? So Trump is trying to do deals with him. What does that idiot from Ontario release that commercial? Pissed them off. He just goes, okay, fuck you, Canada. Tariffs here, 50% more. Right? Here you go. Like, that's the kind of power this guy has. We shouldn't be doing this with tariffs, right? Especially with Trump. It's like, he's always going to win, right? We're not going to beat Trump. But I still think, like you see with the Epstein stuff now, like, it totally backfired on the Democrats. I love it, right? Democrats were like look at Biden. Biden in office for 4 years. So if they had this evidence, they would have used it when they're trying to throw, like, they're throwing him in jail, like, every time. So they had every opportunity to get any Epstein or any dirt on Trump. Look at all these fictitious charges that were dropped. They would have totally used that if he was a pedophile going to Epstein Island. They would have he would have been hanging from a noose, right? But he played it right, just like the art of war. He's using the art of war, right? So what he does, he's like, he'll release something. He'll say, no, have the smoke and mirrors. He said, no, Democrats, we don't want to talk about this. It's just the Epstein list. Let's talk about more important things. So the media, biased media, jumps all over it. Then once he got to hide, oh my God, he's a pedophile. How dare that guy? And then he gets together with the senators. Okay, let's release the files. Oh no, it's like, yeah, if he had something to hide, he wouldn't be releasing the files. I'll tell you that much.
Well, come on, I don't know that he's going to okay that. Like, sure, if it gets through to the Senate and it actually gets through to him, he has final vetoing power.
Oh yeah,
and I don't see Trump releasing the files, dude. Do you really think he would?
He's going to do it. Look at all the meat that's been delivered right now. There's so many politicians that are in this. Like, Epstein was giving Democrats like hundreds of millions of dollars, all the key Democrats. So how do they explain that? All these guys were with him, right? So those are the guys I'd be talking to first. And they're just all quiet right now. They're like, holy fuck, because the biased media, the ABC, CBS, MSNBC, CNN, those are biased medias. They fucking hate Trump. Look at how long they've hated Trump for 10 years. 10 years they've been going after this guy. Come on. It's the same old song and dance. If you're still watching CNN, you're fucking brain dead.
The Toddcast podcast is powered by Milano Coffee, bringing you the finest espresso and coffee concepts in the world. Online at milanocoffee.ca.
Tell you what you want to hear about the things you can't see, feel all the dreams collide, brilliant things. Dive into the light you see. Oh, now the light is fading. Skies on the blossom sinking, and the moon moves soft and quiet, shimmering upon the water. Shimmer, glimmering, shimmer, glimmering. To what you want to know, but there's more that I could show. But they say that these streams are still, you can feel the water flowing. Oh, now the light is fading. The sky has turned from blue to black, and the stars are all quiet. turn from blue to black. In your eyes is my reflection. My reflection faces back. And now the light's fading. The sky has turned from blue to black. In your eyes is my reflection. Your lips want to taste them. Shiver, quivering on the water. Shiver, quivering on the water.
And now, stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast podcast.
Chances are you'll best know actress Carrie Cahill as Diane from The Walking Dead, but she's had so many great roles and starred in some outstanding cinema. Free State of Jones with Matthew McConaughey, Terminator Genesis as Lieutenant Whitley, NCIS New Orleans, True Detective, Battleship. But what struck me most was she's super grounded, easygoing, the kind of actress who's been part of big productions but still feels completely approachable. We talked about the challenges of working in Hollywood, what fuels her passion for acting, and how she balances staying real, talented, genuine. Stop me if you've heard this before. Carrie talked about the hardest thing about acting.
The hardest thing about being an actor is schedule and when you're not working. It sounds weird, but like when I'm working, I am... Like, even when it's long days on set and it's hot, Atlanta can be very hot, and you're in the sun, and it's still, everything's fine. Like, it's great. It's when I'm not working and when I'm sort of going through a cold streak where I've auditioned 20 times and still haven't gotten anything. Mm. That's the hard part of being an actor for me.
And there's a lot of
That's when I'm like, oh, God, yeah, there is, and there can be, and it's just, that's when it's hard, because that's when you start to doubt yourself. And that, because I tell people, I say being an actor is like, it can, if you equate it to another job, it's like if an accountant had to audition every time they were going to do an audit.
Sorry,
like literally, it's like if every time.
How to audit just as good, so sorry.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. Like, we like his hat better, like that type of thing. That's what it is. You're constantly being interviewed for a job.
Stop Me If You've Heard This Before on the Toddcast podcast is powered by the HomedWell Group. Buying a house? Selling your home? Contact Kyle at homedwell.ca today.
flow like raging water. For every son and every daughter who look to us for love. If you had just believed in us, instead of leading us to slaughter, we would have let our bones grow stronger. If trust was like a currency to us, would we flow like raging water? For every son and every daughter who look to us for love. Just take your space or let me break the burdens of both leaves our bodies to change. This empty place with the floors like glass. Deja vu will be our saving grace.
I saw something the other day on Instagram. The post said basically something to the effect of like, oh cool, I didn't realize that you guys are still around. That band is Arlo Wells, and a brand new song for those guys called Fresh Cut. Yes, indeed, they are still around. They're still a band. They finished a handful of songs, and this is the first one that they wanted you to hear. Expect big shows coming out of these guys in the new year. Just sounds so good. Cannot wait to hear the rest. Again, Arlo Wells, and a great song for them called Fresh Cut. You heard another new song, this one from Quickness, called Shimmer. And as you can hear, this one kind of infused with a little bit of a reggae vibe. Very cool coming out of those guys. So a couple new tracks there for you. Okay, so our final guest of episode 379, this week's entertainment guest is actor Seth Edeen. Seth has been killing it recently in those vertical series that you're starting to see more and more. His story goes back to Wyoming, where he grew up playing competitive football and ice hockey. He earned a spot as a defensive end for the Wyoming Cowboys, but his athletic career ended abruptly. We mentioned this off the top when he found out that he only had one kidney. He was forced to retire and pivot hard into modeling and acting. More on that in just a sec. First, you should know that his dad coached his football team as a kid, so he took Seth's retirement pretty hard as well.
Yeah, he was bummed, but at the end of the day, he was very proud of me. I mean, when I told him like hockey was my thing. Like I even played like my freshman year of college, I was playing junior hockey. And I remember, I had a tough game and I got pulled, and I remember sitting on the bench. I'm like, I'm fucking done. Like, I don't want to play anymore. Like, this is it. Like, that comes a point when that happens. I was always told that, at least, and I was sitting on the bench. I'm like, this is my moment. Like, I'm done with hockey. Like, or I'm done playing competitively. Like, I still play men's league to this day.
Yeah.
So when I told my dad, I'm like, yo, I think I'm gonna go walk on and play football. He's like, you're gonna walk on it? Because I said it so casually. Because in my head, I was so confident with my like football skills. Because I was like the best player on my high school team. I was like one of the best players in my state. So like I was just always used to it. And it always came so naturally to me. And a couple coaches had told me like I know you love playing hockey, but you're one of the first D1 kids we've had around here in 5-10 years. So if you ever change your mind, you want to do that. So I always had that in the back of my head. And I told my dad, I'm like, hey, I think I'm going to walk on and try and play football. He's like, really? You're going to play football? I'm like, yeah, like, why not? Like, I still want to play sports. Like, hockey's over, but I still want to give, like, everyone always told me. So I'm going to go give it a shot. And I showed up so undersized. Like, I was I was like the same size I am now, like 180 pounds, like soaking wet. And I'm playing defensive end. The other guys in my position are 250 plus. And my dad was honestly, I remember he told me like before the first scrimmage slight size difference. My first scrimmage that I played in, he's like, dude, I was so worried for you. Like, I wasn't sure I was going to go. And I went out on the first scrimmage and had like 3 sacks. Like, I freaking shredded it.
Yeah.
And so he was so proud of me just for like, you know, giving it a shot and giving it my all and having the success that I did. Like, it was out of my control kind of what happened. But I gave it my all. I got to play as a true freshman, which not a lot of people get to do. So ultimately, like, he was bummed, but he was just super proud of me. So they all were.
That's what dads do, man. That's what dads do.
And also at the same time, like my dad and my uncles, like they're in their 60s, 50s, and 60s now, and they're just like all beat up, like can't walk, like their backs are all like, ooh, they're grunting all the time.
Sure.
So he's like, honestly, like you went out, you accomplished the most you could in the time that you did, and now it's like best for the longevity, honestly, for like the rest of your life, because you still ultimately you want to be able to still, run around and play with your kids and, do all that sorts of stuff. You don't want to be like having bad knees and stuff. So it's like for the long term, like this is probably best for you. So
yeah, acting ain't going to kick the shit out of your body like football will.
Not even acting. Close. I get treated too good acting, man. Like I got a PA, like, do you need a water? I'm like,
right. Like if anything, you got to be careful you don't get a gut, man. You got to be like the catering, the food, like careful, bud. Like,
right. Luckily, I live in California. I think being out in I don't know what it is about here, being in the sun or whatever, but the weight doesn't stick on you like it does when you live in like Wyoming or somewhere where it's cold and you're all like bundled up all the time.
I mean, that's just what dads do. He was just so proud of me for like, giving it a shot, giving it my all and having the success that I did. Seth was cool. We talked for about half hour. It's all over our social media platforms. Of course, you can follow along at Toddcast podcast. So back to the late 2019s, Seth moved to California, signed with a modeling agency, and by 2023 was taking acting classes. You've since seen him in multiple projects, most notably as Easton Black in the vertical drama Breaking the Ice, and as Samuel Trent in Open Your Eyes, My Billionaire Husband. Last year, Seth won a Best Actor in a Short Drama award at a national festival. It was cool talking to him about family life and seeing Big and Rich and Def Leppard in concert. We talked a little bit about his publicity team, which is fairly interesting. Philip Seymour Hoffman's acting chops came up, and the shows that he was binge watching lately too.
Let's see. Lately, I just watched. So I had the opportunity to meet Glenn Powell a couple of years ago, and I remember when I met him, he was telling me about this football show that he was about to start writing and producing, and it just came out. It's called Chad Powers, and me and my roommates just binge watched Chad Powers, and love that show.
I hear it's awesome. I have it on my watch list, but there's so little time.
So many. And then, as far as like movies, like I said, like I'm still catching up on all these great movies from the 80s and 90s and stuff. So I just watched a movie called Scent of a Woman with Al Pacino.
Yeah,
it was such a great freaking movie. Holy dude, and Philip Seymour Hoffman. Like I think when I list my favorite actors, Philip Seymour Hoffman is top three. He's so awesome.
Good in every role. Like, what's his best role?
I don't even know. I watched my roommate showed me this movie that he was in called Talented Mr. Ripley. It's like him, Matt Damon, Jude Law. Yeah. I loved him in that. I'm actually on tomorrow I'm making a little cameo on a vertical, and I'm basing my character off of Philip Seymour Hoffman in Talented Mr. Ripley. So
okay, cool.
I think that one, but honestly, like Twister, like that's the first Philip Seymour Hoffman movie I remember seeing him in, is the movie Twister. So I love him in that, but he's great in everything he does. He's so talented. So
yeah, like literally the kid shits gold.
Yeah,
I don't think, is he? It's not.
No, R.I.P. Yeah, he. I don't know when he passed away, but yeah, he's no longer with us.
I think anyway.
Yeah.
Love that. He goes, I remember when I met him, he was telling me about this football show that he was about to start writing and producing. Pretty neat for Seth to meet the creator of Chad Powers. That's a fun show, by the way, if you haven't checked that out. So as we always do, we got into it with Seth as well, talking about country music, being a high school jock, the influence of the Mighty Ducks and Top Gun. He shared a Mexico near-death story, which I'd share right now, but that story alone is about 10 or 11 minutes long. He talked about writing scripts down the road, perhaps, and what is his career highlight thus far?
My career highlight thus far, I would say, so I had a show come out in April called Wings of Fire. The Dragon Slayer falls in love with my ex-lover. It's a show I did with Nicole again, and it was the highest budget show that any vertical has ever done. Like to this day, it was sick. It was like a Game of Thrones themed like show. We flew to Boston. We shot in the freaking ice cold winter in Boston for 10 days. Battled it out. And it's the project I'm probably most proud of because there was so much involved in that project. The wardrobe, the layers and the characters, the stunts that were involved. That project took a toll on both me and Nicole. That was the project that Nicole and I got the closest on.
Right. It's hard not to, though, right? Like when you're working with somebody hand in hand like that, like how could you not become buddies?
Yeah, like she's like one of my we got so close on that one. And we battled that one out. And then they had a premiere for that. So we had a full-on premiere for that show in a movie theater. So they rented out an entire movie theater. And I got to sit in a movie theater with 200 other people.
Nice.
And
so you're like, as the shit's going, you can hear them like, oh, oohs and ahs and like,
yeah.
That had to get your
like
arm hair standing up. Like,
it was sick. It was so cool. Like, it was so cool, man. That was definitely the coolest thing that's happened so far. And it's like, cause these shows, they're meant to be watched on your phone. So you watch all of it on your phone or your iPad. Yeah. So for it to be in an actual movie theater with like real like sound, like it was so cool. It was so cool. I teared up on that one for sure. I was like, this is like, some people work their whole life to like have a moment like that, but they'll wait like 20 years before they get a moment like that. And like to have this like just a year and a half into this journey, like I was so grateful and it was such a cool moment for me. So I would definitely say that.
The Toddcast Podcast. Find us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and at toddhancock.ca.
love that one. That's hot on the heels of arguably the best indie song of 2025 called Cotton Skies, a new song for Kara Bateman. That one is called Strawberry Skies. Now, Kara did a podcast show at the Blue Light Studio with us earlier in the year, without question, one of Vancouver's brightest lights. Expect 2026 to be a big year for Kara Bateman. Before we wrap things up this week, of course, wanted to give a big thanks to all of our guests. Big Wreck drummer Sekou Lumumba, Mr. Tequila actor Seth Edeen. Appreciate you guys taking the time to jump on a Zoom with us and share your stories. And of course, thank you so much for sharing your visit online. I do see it, and it means a lot to us. And that's going to do it for this one, episode 379. Once again, my name is Todd Hancock. Thank you so much for listening. If I could ask before we wrap things up, if I could ask you one thing, help spread the word, okay? Tell your friends about us. Share posts on social media. Comment on the posts. That's huge for podcasters and content creators. Got to find a way to beat that algorithm, right? We're super thankful to be part of the Realm.fm network. Realm.fm. They're based out of New York City, worldwide distribution. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Megaphone. You can see all of our videos on YouTube at our channel there. Search us out through What Else? Toddcast Podcast. Huge thanks to all of our stupendous sponsors. They're the reason we're able to keep on keeping on. You can find links to all sponsor websites at toddhancock.ca. If you would like to sponsor the podcast, you can for as little as $10 a day. Contact info is at the homepage. And a reminder, if you help us find a sponsor, we will give you a commission. Okay? Till next time, don't be an asshole, because nobody wants to be around that. Have fun, play hard, and most of all, believe in yourself.
You've been listening to the Toddcast Podcast, powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, dedicated to helping you find the best mortgage rates. Available 7 days a week at citywidemortgage.ca.
If you love those, wait, what? Moments, you'll love Something You Should Know. I'm Mike Carruthers, and on my podcast, we explore the fascinating ideas hiding in plain sight, like how elevators change the entire world, how gravity affects your health more than you think, or how to instantly become a better conversationalist. Each episode is fast, fun, and full of insight you'll want to share. So give it a try. Search for Something You Should Know wherever you get your podcasts.
The Regency era. You might know it as the time when Bridgerton takes place, or the time when Jane Austen wrote her books. But the Regency era was also an explosive time of social change, sex scandals, and maybe the worst king in British history. And on the Vulgar History podcast, we're going to be looking at the balls, the gowns, and all the scandal of the Regency era. Vulgar History is a women's history podcast, and our Regency era series will be focusing on the most rebellious women of this time. That includes Jane Austen herself, who is maybe more radical than you might have thought. We'll also be talking about queer icons like Anne Lister, scientists like Mary Anning and Ada Lovelace, as well as other scandalous actresses, royal mistresses, rebellious princesses, and other lesser-known figures who made history happen in England in the Regency era. Listen to Vulgar History wherever you get podcasts.
Goodbye, Kyle!
Did the sound of those words call to you like Pavlov's dog? Then you might enjoy our podcast, Turtle Time.
Every week, you can join me, Riley Hamilton, and my co-host, Amy Scarlatta, as we cover the most pressing Bravo news and dig into the new episodes to answer important questions like, who the hell is Adrian Malouf in this world?
Listen to Turtle Time on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Wednesday and Friday.